This is The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren's the author of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want, How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want, and he's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. Now, say hello to Warren Eckstein.
The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Is your dachshund acting a little ditzy? Do your rescued Persians have you a bit paranoid? Are your terriers behaving like thugs? Well, if you love animals, and obviously you do, care about wildlife and the environment, and really want to understand how your dogs and cats thinking and why they behave in the ways they do, stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show, America's first and only real pet psychology, training, behavior, and of course pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those adorable little furry buddies with you, folks, because yes, it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, if you'd like to join me on the ever-growing Pet Show family, if your dog is nipping, jumping, humping, your cat's not using the litter box, scratched your favorite chair, hates the new cat that came into the house, you got the idea. If you have a question about your pet's behavior, great time to give me a call. Just a reminder, whether you're a new listener or a regular listener to The Pet Show, everyone that calls into the show and does in fact get through to me live on the air today will be getting an amazing gift. Don't get excited. It's not for you. It's for that beautiful dog or cat looking up at you with those adoring eyes. Many of the items I give away on today's show are 20, 30, 40 bucks and even more. So it's a great time to give me a call. I'll answer your questions and a great gift will be on its way for your buddy at the same time. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-KRLA, or if you're more a numbers person, that's 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Let me tell you what is planned for today's show, but as you already know, I never get to all my topics because your phone calls are my priorities. But here's what I'd like to share with you today if we have time. People often talk about their dog's emotions. That's right, their dog's emotions, but not as much as how their cats are doing emotionally. Today we'll look at the sad cat. That's right, the sad cat, and how to put that meow back in their step. Also coming up on today's show, all pet guardians. That means everyone out there, all pet guardians should be aware of not only traditional veterinary solutions for your pets, but also investigate the possible alternative solutions. What you need to know about using a combination of traditional and complementary vet care, that coming up. And you know, your dog has dandruff, your cat has dandruff, you brush it off, you don't worry about it. Well, folks, don't just brush off dandruff on your pets. It could be something a lot more serious. And, are you ready for this? Not in California, but it's in other parts of the country. If it's a pizza company that when they deliver a pizza, on the box on the top of the pizza is a photograph with the local rescue and humane organizations, Dogs and Cats for Adoption. And it's been working out well. So now they've gone one step further. Adopt a pet from one of their pizza boxes and you will get a free pizza for an entire year. A free pizza for an entire year if you adopt a dog or cat. Good idea? We'll talk about that a little bit later. Plenty of time for your questions and comments. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away. So, if your pet is jumping, humping, digging, scratching, barking, not using the litter box, not eating, eating too much, surfing the counters, hates other dogs, suffers with separation anxiety, your dog's depressed, keeps you up at night, or it's taking you this long to realize that your dogs and cats are just a little bit brighter than you, great time to give me a call. Again, that phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. The question of the day, are you aware of your pet's emotions? Are you aware of your pet's emotions? If you want to watch me doing the show, remember now, we're doing it live on Facebook as well. So you can go to facebook.com/thepetshow. Don't forget that THE. Facebook.com/thepetshow. I'll answer some questions there as well. Or if you just want to share a story, check it out, facebook.com/thepetshow. All right, we're off to a start, guys. The phones are already full, jam-packed. I am going to go to a friend of mine first. I have known Jeff probably for, it's got to be well over 20 years. My good friend Jeff is with us. Hey, Jeff from the great state of Washington, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you, Warren. It's so good to talk to you again. I think it's been more like, 25, maybe 30 years.
Yeah, so we met when I was 9.
Yeah, when you were just a baby. When you were an infant, I used to listen to you on WOR in New York with Dr. Bernard Meltzer, and we go back that far. But I tell you, you still look great. You sound great. For some reason, you just don't age. I don't know what your secret is.
It's the animals. It's the animals.
It's the animals.
Don't hang out with people. Spend your time with the animals. I promise you'll stay younger your whole life. Anyway, Jeff, what can I do to help you out with your pet today?
Yes, we have a lovely young lady. Her name is Chloe Chanel, and she is 1 year and 8 months. She is a Maltipoo. She is an only child at this point, and we have never had this issue with other pets that we have had, other four-legged children. But it's owner-directed aggression. She likes to sleep on the bed with my wife, or she lays in the bed with my wife during the day. My wife will be sitting up watching TV, and she kind of goes to sleep or snoozes a little bit. But when my wife goes to move, even just to go to the bathroom or even scratch her leg, the other day she did that, and Chloe just sinks her teeth into her bites to the point where she drew blood the other day. And
now, have you had Chloe since she was a puppy?
Since she was, I'm going to say she was about 10 weeks old. Other than that, she is sweet, she is gentle, she's possessive about things. When she gets a hold of a bottle top, a plastic bottle top, and you try to take it away from her, she'll warn you by growling, but she will bite if she's disturbed, and we just don't know what to do about this.
Okay, here's the big situation, and this is a very common problem, Jeff. When a dog is showing aggression towards their guardian, often what happens, their guardian feels that the best way to deal with it is to be assertive back with the dog, and that doesn't resolve anything. That just creates more of a problem. This tends, it sounds to me, and I don't know for sure, I don't know the size of the litter this puppy was in. Do you have any idea?
I think she was one of about 4 or 5, and she's a little thing, she weighs 6 pounds, but boy, can she really give you a bite.
Okay, here's what I'm going to recommend that you do. Number one, right off the bat, is when you're going to do something, at least temporarily, if you got an itch or you're going to get up and walk away, give the dog a cue at this point. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Say, hey, Chloe, I'll be right back, and just walk away. In other words, before she has the opportunity to react to the movement, I want you to give her a cue that you're going to be moving. I think that's a good starting point. The other thing I'm going to recommend that you do is when Chloe is, have you done any training with the dog? Here's the scenario I run into all the time, Jeff, is when people have a small dog like a Maltipoo, they just assume it doesn't need to be trained. Training isn't specifically to get the dog to walk perfectly all the time, but to sit and stay. It's a way of establishing positive authority with the dog. So when a dog is being assertive or aggressive, most people react assertive or aggressive towards the dog, and that doesn't resolve the issue. But if you can establish that positive authority and have some way to communicate, that's where the resolution comes into play. So here's my recommendation. Assume the dog knows nothing. Assume you just got Chloe yesterday and start some good, solid, basic training with her. 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time. Make it fun, just short periods. Again, the most important thing to do right now is because dogs react and they learn through the associative memory. So every time in the past where she's reacted aggressively towards you or your wife and she nipped or she snapped, she's actually gotten away with it. She won that battle. That's not good. The next time she shows any assertive or aggressive behavior, that's when the leash and the harness comes out and she gets a 5-minute lesson right then and there. No yelling, no screaming. I don't want overly correction. It sounds to me that the dog is reacting to something that may have happened to her with the other litter mates. She may have been pushed away by the other litter mates. She might have been picked up and taken away by the breed. I don't know the exact story, but the resolution is establishing positive authority with her and giving her a cue before you get up. Because I think in the past, for some reason, when she was young, she may associate movement with being hurt and therefore the aggressive behavior on her part. Did that guide you a little bit there, Jeff?
Yeah, it really did, Warren, and you made a very good point about we don't know how she interacted with her other litter mates. I do remember when we saw her that all the other little dogs were jumping around and going crazy, and she was really very kind of gentle. She was actually kind of scared and shook. She appeared to be a little bit different than the other dogs. So you're right.
Well, so there she was. She was pushed away or kind of dominated by the other puppies in the litter. And so therefore, when she came into Jeff's home, she said, you know, this is my chance. I need to dominate something here. I'll take on Jeff and his wife at this point. But it's all a matter of positives. I know a lot of trainers say, well, if the dog shows aggression, jerk the dog. Yeah. No, this is a matter of building the dog's confidence and self-esteem. If we can build up the dog's confidence, it's just like a confident person. Confident people are not aggressive. So we want to build up our confidence, go back to your basics, Jeff, and I think we'll start from that point.
Yeah, we do have animal behaviorist trainer type of person coming on Monday to help us with this. So great advice, Warren.
If there's any,
love your show and love you.
Thank you, Jeff. But listen, if there's if the trainer, behaviorist, whatever comes into your home and it smells aggressive, if it looks aggressive, if it tastes aggressive, or even if you just don't like the person, you need to establish a relationship with the trainer as important as the dog's relationship with the trainer. So even if the trainer is the best trainer in the world, if you and your wife don't have that really close relationship, you're not going to get the results you want. So work with someone you like. In the meantime, Jeff, I'm going to put you on hold because I love you so much. You're getting a brand new T-shirt that says none of my friends walk upright. By the way, I'll talk a little bit more about those T-shirts coming up. We just got in today. In fact, I just modeled it. Don't hold that against the T-shirt because I'm modeling it. For the summer, we got the white T-shirts that say, none of my friends walk upright. Check those out on my website, thepetshow.com, because when you purchase the T-shirt in red, white, or in black, that money goes to the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, which, as you know, supports more local mom and pop shelters than probably any other organization in the country. So appreciate that. Check out those shirts. The money goes right to help the animals. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Here's the deal. We got Linda in Huntington Beach. We got David in Whittier. We got Ellen in Culver City. We got Mike in LA. We got another Mike in Tahunga. So we're going to get to all your calls. Be patient with me. Where are you going? You're stuck at house just like I am. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. The question of the day, are you aware of your pet's emotions? Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Let me take a quick break, and then I'll get right back to your phone calls. Now, and we are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. Lots of great stuff to give away. Everyone that calls in gets to me live will get a great gift for their dog or their cat. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me take another phone call, then I'll give you a list of what I'm giving away. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Are you spoiling your pets? Well, this recently came out. It says you need to 1 point for every statement that applies to you. Your pet is allowed to sleep in your bed. Your pet gets Christmas presents. You've refused to move if your pet is asleep on you. We've all done that. You've canceled plans because of your pet. I do that all the time. Your pet gets a birthday present. He gets a present every day. Your pet is allowed to sit on the sofa. No, I'm allowed to sit on the sofa if the pets allow me. You say hello to your pet before anybody else. You know, there's a lot of arguments about that. I talked about that last week. There was a big discussion about how married couples get angry at each other if, let's say, the husband comes home and let's say he's the person that cooks and he feeds the dog before he feeds his wife or vice versa. Lots of arguments, lots of divorces. So I know Denise and I have this agreement that obviously the dogs come first. That's just the way it is, folks. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Linda, Huntington Beach. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello, Warren. Nice to talk to you.
Same here, Linda. What can I do to help you out today?
Okay. I have two female cats. They're 8 years old. They've been together since they were 3 months old. And one's a Tortie and one's a Himalayan. And my tortie, for no reason at all, constantly attacks the Himalayan. Just starts whacking her, and then they end up in a brawl. And I just don't understand why this is still happening.
They've been together, Linda, they've been together how long?
Oh, they've been together 8 years.
They've been together 8 years. So let me ask you a question. When you leave the house, are the two of them together?
Well, they're never close together.
No, but could they get close together if they wanted to? I mean, no one's locked. What I'm saying is no one's locked away. Everyone has free run of the house.
Oh, correct.
Okay,
correct.
So when you go out of the house and you come home, do you see hair all over the place? Do you see bloodshed all over the place? Anything like that?
I don't. There's never any blood.
Okay, so then let's really focus on the problem, Linda. The problem is not the cats. The problem is probably you, because obviously it's taking place when you're home, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, what happens is if they start going after each other and you don't break it up, do they break it up on their own, or do you have to break it up?
I break it up. And I have to say the tortie demands a lot of attention, where the Himalayan's more kickback, but I give him equal attention. But the tortie is very demanding of attention.
Okay,
so
now can I get tough with you, Linda? I love getting tough with my listeners. Listen to me carefully, okay? If you were to get down on all fours right now and look around the house and totally be honest with me, okay? No fibbing here on the Pet Show. How boring is your home for your two cats? Let me rephrase that. When was the last time some new items came into your house specifically for the cats? Honestly.
Oh, recently? Not recently.
Okay. So listen to me carefully.
I have a lot of items for them to
Well, that's good. That's good. When I was a kid, I had a friend of mine that had a tool chest full of toys, but he never played with any of them. So just because they have them doesn't mean that's good. Here's what I want you to do. When you have two cats living indoors, and you know that I'm a big believer that all cats should be living indoors. It's just much safer. But you need to make the environment interesting, like the outdoors. You can't just put down 50 toys and leave them down and assume they're going to be happy for the next 20 years. What I recommend that you do, what I've done with all the cats I've lived with, is every couple of days I improve the environment. I'll go out to a carpet store and I'll get a piece of the roller that they're throwing away, and I'll glue some carpet to it, and I'll put it on the floor so they can play with it. You hear me say every week, I'll get cardboard boxes and I'll put one on top of the other and make a duplex, a triplex. But listen to me. Boxes need to be changed every single day. Every other day, they're free. Remember, every box smells different. One smells like chicken, one smells like peas, one smells like squash. They all smell different. So what happens is, if you don't keep them mentally stimulated, aggressive behavior towards each other will take place. Now, the aggressive behavior that's taking place that we're talking about here is not killer aggressive behavior. It's I want to be the dominant cat in the household. So make sure there's plenty of high places for that cat to climb to. And if you consistently change the environment and make it interesting, the focus of the aggressive cat will be less on the other cat and more on these new items coming into the home.
Okay, so I should change things around. Maybe that's the answer.
Yeah, well, every day,
Yeah, I do have a lot of stimulation around the house, and I play with them.
Yeah, but they need new stuff. They need a new box coming in every couple of days. They need some new toys. Grow some organic catnip, another organic plant. In other words, you need to make any two living things confined in an environment are going to get temperamental with each other. And I still believe the cat should be inside, but you got to make the inside so interesting, outdoor interesting, that they're not so focused on each other, but they're focused on all these items. Follow my advice. I'm sure it's going to work. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your two cats, I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food for the two cats. They'll be a lot happier once they start eating Lucy pet food, I promise. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. We got plenty of time to get to all your calls. Lots of super stuff to give away. Come on, guys. I want an answer to this question. Are you aware of your pet's emotions? Are you really aware of them? Later on, we're going to talk about emotions. And frequently we hear about, well, my dog's moody, my dog's this. But what about cats? Cats have emotions too. I'd love to hear from some of my feline people out there about their cats and when they get emotional. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. Here is what I am giving away on today's show, all right? I am giving away my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats. I'm giving away Lucy pet food. I'm giving away those T-shirts now in 3 different colors that say none of my friends walk upright. I'm giving away copies of my best-selling books, either How to Get Your Dog or How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. Lucy Pet's Cat's Incredible Cat Litter, Arthur Suit Gold, Hemp Seed Oil, Mushroom Max. Amazing stuff to give away. And everything I give away here on The Pet Show is because I have the greatest sponsors. If you're a regular listener, you know my sponsors, many of them have been with me for 15, 20 years because they love your pets as much as I do. And if you hear me talking about their products, you know how much I recommend and endorse them. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back to your phone calls. No. And we are back on The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away as well. The question of the day, and this is so important, are you aware of your pet's emotions? You know, emotional well-being for dogs and cats, which is my specialty, is just as important as their physical health. Emotions can make your dogs and cats ill. So notice how they're feeling. Notice their moods. And if you do, give me a call. I'd like to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Before we get back to the phones, you know how a big fan I am of therapy dogs and dogs that go into hospitals and schools. I've trained hundreds of them. Well, it seems that some of these therapy dogs and cats and the people that handle them are getting a little bit depressed. They're not able to go into the hospitals, the nursing homes, and some of the other places they normally go. They're doing drive-bys. They take the dogs on a drive-by so the seniors can look out the window, but it's not the same as that touch. So some of the dogs are getting a little depressed, so they're actually setting up situations where it's kind of like a fake nursing home, but at least the dogs can go in there and meet with people. That's how sensitive our pets are. Hey, just a reminder, if you're following me on Facebook right now, if you're listening on Facebook, when I go to commercial, you're not going to hear anything. Grab a cup of coffee, give your dog a hug or a kiss, give him a belly rub, whatever you need to do, a massage. But when I take a break, and if you're watching on Facebook, you won't hear any music, so that's your time to give your pets a big hug and a kiss. All right, let me get back to the busy phone lines here. We are going to David in Whittier, then Ellen, but first it's David. Hey, David, welcome to the show.
Hello, I haven't talked to you in a while.
What's up, David? What can I do? Yeah, like you're right next to me, David. What can I do for you?
This is my dog. I talked to you about 2 years ago. But anyway, this is a 10-pound black German Spitz. All of a sudden, he's shivering. He doesn't listen to obey his commands. I have to pick him up to bring him outside. Then I had to pick him up to bring him inside. I give him a treat. He won't eat it unless I bring it to him, drop it right in front of his face.
What's he like, David, when he's inside the house? Is he calmer and does he behave well?
Well, what he does, when I do pick him up and come in to bring him in, he runs to a spot. I runs on the couch. I mean, just runs so fast, like, and outside sometimes he just like.
How long ago did that start?
This started about a week and a half now.
Okay, so in other words, it sounds to me like it could be related to the fireworks.
Thyroid?
Fireworks.
I can barely hear you.
Fireworks. Bang, boom, bash. Fireworks.
Oh, no, no, he was pretty good this year. I mean, he never is I put on his little thunder shirt. Sometimes that worked, not all the time.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. In other words, you have a dog that behaved a certain way, and now all of a sudden that dog's behavior is changing. Now there's two ways that change. There's two things that change behavior: psychological or physiological or emotional. We can throw that in there as well. So something happened. That's why I brought up fireworks. Now, he may not have reacted to it, but it still doesn't mean he wasn't fearful of it. Can you think of anything else that may have taken place in your home, in your backyard, that caused him to be a little freaky at this point?
Not that I know of. I just gave him a haircut, cut all his fur off, and he was acting real good.
Was he acting?
I noticed two lumps on his stomach all of a sudden.
Okay, well, see, here's what I'm going to recommend you do, okay? Before we approach it from a psychological standpoint, let's get him in for physical well-being, okay? And the reason I say that, okay, if he has a couple of lumps on his stomach, maybe that's affecting him. Maybe he's in pain. You know, some dogs are incredibly silent sufferers. So let's get him checked by the vet. If the vet comes back and says, you know what, David, the dog's as healthy as he can be, there's no physical problems, then come back to me and we'll approach it from a psychological standpoint. But it's kind of like trying to resolve an upset stomach with a dog. I can't resolve it behaviorally till we figure out what caused the upset stomach and it's been taken care of by your vet. So it's really critical to take a dog that had a sudden change of behavior. If it had started gradually over a period of months, that's one thing. But when you have a sudden change of behavior, like you're talking about, first thing you want to do is rule out anything physical. So a quick trip to the vet would be the way to go. The other thing I would recommend that you do is when you're with the dog, I would sit out in the backyard with him for 5 minutes every night so he has that confident, that you're with him, David. Build up that confidence a little bit. But right now, I think a trip to the vet just to make sure there's nothing physically that's hurting or bothering the dog is probably the way to go.
Yeah, he has an appointment Wednesday anyway.
Well, good. Let's go Wednesday. You give me a call back on next week, and let's see what the vet says. If the vet says, you know what, he's healthy as heck, then I'll go a little bit more into it with the psychological
reasons. Very good. Thank you.
David, don't go anywhere. How long ago did you call me, David? When was the last time you called me?
It's been a while.
All right, so let me put...
I don't know, like 2 years maybe.
Oh, okay, so let's put David on hold. And for your dog, David, you know what I'm going to send you? I'm going to send you some hemp seed calming oil for your dog. But let's get that physical checkup. It's important. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Again, just a note, a little bit different this week. If you're following me on Facebook right now, you can ask me questions on Facebook if you want. It's facebook.com/thepetshow, facebook.com/thepetshow. But remember, when I go to commercials, like I'm going to do right about now, you won't hear anything. So you know what to do. That's when you give your dog a hug, a kiss, a massage, tell him you love him, whatever you need to do. Because so many people, I get these emails and texts every week, so many people actually listen to the show with their pets. I'm trying to think who listens closer, the pets or the guardians. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. When we come back, we have Ellen, we have Mike, we have Mike, we have two Mikes, we have Mike in LA, Mike in Tahunga, we got Dolores, we got Betty. Get to all your calls. You guys are tiring me out today. First, back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Peter Pan, years ago, I was doing a segment, and I coined the word the Peter Pan syndrome. It's been around for years for people, but I coined the word the Peter Pan syndrome for dogs and cats. Now, how many people out there, many of you, I'm sure, including myself, hundreds of animals I live with, have had dogs and cats that just were puppies or kittens their whole lives. They just refused to grow up. I've had many like that. They really were suffering from the Peter Pan syndrome. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to have to break for the top of the hour just for a couple of minutes. I know you guys have been holding a long time. We have a whole other hour to go. So here's my promise to you. Mike, Betty, Eric, Dolores, I'll take you guys in order when we come back. So hang in there. Have a cup of coffee. Give your pets a big hug. Give them a big kiss. I don't want to rush anyone, so I will get to all your calls. A whole other hour to go. Still coming up on the show, by the way, we're going to take a look at sad cats. A lot of people will know when their dog is emotionally not feeling well, but for some reason, they're not aware of it when it comes to looking at their cats and telling what kind of emotions their cats are in. So we'll talk a little bit about that coming up a little bit later. And I'll tell you about this great idea. I wish someone would do it here. Can you imagine if when you got a pizza delivered to your house, it had a photograph of a rescued or a dog or cat that needs rescue on it? We'll talk about that and how many dogs and cats it's actually found homes for. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. A quick break, and I promise I'll be back in 2 minutes. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. And welcome back to the second hour of the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. How much is that doggy in the window? You don't have enough money. This is Molly. You remember Molly? I adopted Molly and Willie about a year ago. Willie decided to go outside and play. Molly wanted to come and say a quick call. Molly, by the way, is the most mellow, gentle. There's nothing that you can't do to this dog. Nothing. But the favorite thing in the whole world is to lay like this, get a belly rub, and lots of kisses on the head, right? All right, go back to sleep. I'm bothering you, I know. All right, we're back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Oh, by the way, people have been asking about the T-shirt. This is the new white one. If you're watching on Facebook, you can see it. This is the newest one we have. They're now available in white. They're available in black. They're available in red. I designed them myself. You see it has all different animals here, and it says, "None of my friends walk upright." And the money, I think they're like 14 or 15 bucks. And the money goes directly to the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. That's my own 501c3. And what we do, if you're not familiar with it, let me just talk for a second here. The Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund is kind of a one-of-a-kind. We're kind of a little bit like the United Way for Pets. We don't keep money in the bank. As soon as money comes in, we send it out. And we don't send it out to the big organizations that are putting on these big galas. We send it to the mom and pops that have 4 or 5 volunteers working in somewhere in Arkansas. We help the small mom and pops, which, by the way, do the bulk of the work when it comes to animal rescue. Check it out, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. And it's a 501c3, or just check it out on my website. That's where you can find those T-shirts, thepetshow.com, and help me help more animals. All right, let me get back to the busy phone lines here. We have Dolores, Eric, Betty, Mike, and Mike. It's going to go to Mike number 1. He's been holding on a little bit longer in L.A. Mike, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you, Warren. Thanks for letting me pick your brain.
Well, pick away, Mike. There's not much in there, but pick away.
Okay. I think you got a suggestion or two. We got a rescue pup at mid-March. She was 2.5 months old then, so now she's 6.5 months old. And the quarantine happened, or the lockdown happened, just as I got her. So we have been bonded like almost every minute for 4 months now. And she's the greatest dog. I'm just worried, and very smart, but I'm just worried about when I do have to start leaving her more by herself.
Mike, it's a great question. I've been spending 24 hours, 7 days a week answering this question for radio people, TV people, and media all across the country. This is going to be a situation, if not handled properly, can really put a lot of stress on the dogs and the cats. Let's face it. For the majority, the last 3 or 4 months, we've been home most of the time with our dogs and with our cats, spending an awful lot of time with them, which we all love and adore, including our dogs and cats loving and adoring it. But sooner or later, Mike, you know, those bills got to be paid. We got to get back to work. The kids got to get back to school. So what we need to do is actually start preparing the dog now. When you're home, what's your dog's name, Mike?
Lamb Chop.
God, you take me back. Now you'll know my age because you take me back to Shari Lewis. Remember Shari Lewis?
Shari Lewis.
I was on, as a kid in the Bronx. I was actually on the Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop show. But that's a whole different story. Anyway.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, listen to me carefully. Here's what you need to understand. Right now, you're home with the dog. Even though you're home with the dog, a little tough love. Go into another room, close the door for just a couple of minutes. Don't make a big deal. Don't say goodbye. Don't say hello. Just go into another room for a couple of minutes and come back out. Next time, do it in another room. A little bit longer. Go out the front of the house, come in the back of the house. Go out the back of the house, come in the front of the house. Basically, what I'm trying to do is let the dog know that every time Mike leaves, he's going to come back. That's number one. Number two,
I'm kind of doing some of that already.
Okay, well, yeah, then you're right. Then you're right on target. Also, I would be, besides all of the toys and lovely items I'm sure Lamb Chop has, I would find a couple of items that Lamb Chop has only when you go into that room for a couple of minutes, so he associates you leaving with something that's positive, and I would pick them up when you came back out. Really, separation anxiety, abandonment issues is probably one of the most common situations I deal with. In fact, it wasn't even called separation anxiety when I started talking about it 25, 30 years ago. But if you follow that advice, just leaving her for short periods of time, but remember, don't make a big deal out of coming back. Don't make a big deal out of leaving. No goodbyes. She will come around. She will learn to be by herself, and you should be fine. Leave a radio on for her, or leave a TV on, a relatively loud volume where there's a lot of talking going on. Let me recommend a radio station to you, by the way, KRLA, and keep it at a loud volume. Also, before you leave the first couple of times, make sure she gets an incredible amount of exercise. That's critical as well. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? There's so much involved here, Mike. Can I send you a copy of my book?
I'd love it.
I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. By the way, this is exactly what that book looks like, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want, with all those dogs on my lap. And in How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want, there's an entire chapter specifically on separation anxiety. But because of COVID, it might take a little bit longer for the book to get there. So, Mike, this goes for everyone out there. If you go to my website, thepetshow.com, and by the way, everything on my website, other than, you know, the t-shirts and supplements, but all the information, the articles, the videos are absolutely free. Check it out. You can read an article there on separation anxiety as well, and I appreciate that phone call. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. We are going to Dolores in Los Angeles. Hey, Dolores, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Well, I have something that's causing me a great deal of worry, and that's about pet insurance. I have my 14-year-old Chihuahua mixed dog, Pumpkin. He has never been sick. He's never had a claim. The policy I have now, they just keep raising the rates, and it's causing me a lot of stress. Now, it's due to be paid, the annual fee here the 1st of August, and it's been increased by $140, which brings it to $571 a year. I just sort of resent such a cost as that, especially with the $1,000 deductible on it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any thoughts about this pet insurance?
Yeah, I do have thoughts about pet insurance. There are insurance companies out there that do amazing work, and there are pet insurance companies out there that I'm not so thrilled about. The things that you need to understand before you get pet insurance is, number one, do you pay the vet up front, or is the veterinarian paid directly by the insurance company? That's number one. Number two, what about pre-existing diseases? That's also really important. And is there a cap? A lot of them have a cap. So what I would be doing in your situation is, have you spoke to your vet? This is the best thing to do. Go to your vet. Yes. Call your vet.
Yes. Yes, I did talk to him.
Does he work with other insurance companies besides the one that you have?
Well, he recommended this one, which is Embrace. Yes, he had recommended this one.
Okay. I'm not going to comment specifically on the insurance companies, but if you're not happy with the insurance company, and it's $1,000 deductible, which sounds pretty high to me. How old is your dog?
As I said, he's 14 years old. But he's never been sick. He's in good shape.
Yeah, but you've had this. How long have you had this insurance?
3 years.
Yeah. So I'm not. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't have insurance for my dogs, and what I do is I approach it a little bit differently. I set up a specific savings account for my dogs. And every week, every month, whatever, I put money in there. So when something comes along and they need it, I'm there to help them out. I have the money put aside for that. But insurance companies do amazing work. There are some great insurance companies out there. I think you have to do your own investigation and go a little bit further. I'm a big fan of insurance companies that are legitimate, but you got to check them out carefully. Pre-existing diseases, are there lifetime caps? Are they yearly caps? What do they cover? What they don't cover? Your vet's advice was good, but maybe your vet's working with the insurance company. I don't know that. But if I were you, I would do your own research. And if you go online and Google, I'm sure there are charts out there that will compare insurance companies by organizations or like Consumer Affairs. I would go to Consumer Affairs, check out who they recommend and what insurance companies for pets they recommend at this point, Dolores.
Consumer Affairs, okay.
And just when you go to Consumer Affairs, find out what pet insurance companies they specifically recommend. I have a lot of pet insurance companies that pitch me over years. They want to be sponsors on the show. When I find the right one, I'll bring them on. But as of yet, I have yet to find the right one that I would really endorse. But I'm still looking. So if you're an insurance company out there, contact me. Let me talk to you. If I like you, maybe we'll bring you on here. Anyway, Dolores, that's my recommendation. Don't go in here. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your 14-year-old cat. You know what? I'm going to send you some hemp seed joint health, and I appreciate that phone call. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. I still got hugs and kisses to give away. I got the most expensive stuff. I got Lucy pet food to give away. I got those t-shirts to give away. I have books to give away. Cat's Incredible Litter to give away. You just heard me give away some more hemp seed oil, Mushroom Max. So it's a great time to give me a call. If you have a question about your dog or cat, just want to find out why they behave the way they do, just want to brag about them, or just answer my question. Do you really know how your dog or cat is feeling emotionally? Can you look at them and tell their moods, how they are feeling? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me do this. You know what? Let me take a quick break. This is when I go to break, that's the easiest time to get through. So if you have a question, or if you have a comment, or just want to share a story, let me know how you're making out. You heard the call that came in before about the COVID-19. How are you going to be dealing? How are you focusing on when you go back to work and the kids go back to school? I'm going to be talking a lot more about that, and great articles, by the way, on my website. Also, if you're not following me on YouTube, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos I post there, but I just posted a couple of videos specifically on dealing with COVID. So check it out. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. When you go there, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And when you subscribe, you'll get all that information. And I'm sharing a lot of videos there. A lot of them are fun. A lot of them may not be so much fun, but they're really serious in terms of keeping your dogs and cats as healthy as you possibly can. 866-870-KRLA. That's the number right here, right now. 866-870-5752. And we are back on the Pet Show. The phone's jam-packed, and I'll get to as many calls as I can. You know, one of the things that I've been working on pretty much my entire life, my entire career, is the misunderstanding of cats. You know, people just assume cats just get along by themselves. You don't have to worry about them. Well, cats can get really, really sad. And there are many things that can make a cat sad, changes and whatever. Here are some of the things. If you notice your cat hiding and avoiding affection, that might be indicative of a depressed cat. If you notice your cat looking exhausted, having lack of energy, suffering from an eating disorder, making strange noises, staying active at night more than normally, scratching extremely and losing hair, vomiting, these are all things you need to take into consideration. They're all signs of a sad cat. And many of the reasons are, though, they're not receiving enough love, they're experiencing jealousy, a major change in their routine, mistreatment or disappearance of someone the cat loves, illness, injury, allergy, or infection. So little things that may not mean much to us can really affect our cats. And people don't realize, I'm so tired of people saying cats aren't as smart as dogs, cats aren't as good as dogs. Cats are anyone who's ever been owned by a cat, you heard me right. Anyone who's ever been owned by a cat learns really early on that cats are just as affectionate, just as emotional, and just as sensitive as dogs are. For some reason, though, people just don't understand that. But listen, I've lived with as many, I'm trying to think of the number. I think I had 26 cats at one time. I think it was 26 cats at one time. Most of them were feral. Cats are amazing animals, but take the time to understand them and take the time to watch them. If you notice changes in their behavior, then take some type of action. All right, we are going to Betty in Hermosa Beach. Hey, Betty, welcome to the Pet Show. Hello, Betty. Betty. Betty's not there. She held on for so long, and Betty's not there. Anyway, Betty's question was, Warren, how can I take a dog for a walk in the neighborhood and not be afraid of my dog or myself being attacked by another dog? Is there anything you can do? Yeah, teach people to keep their dogs on a leash and a collar. However, what I recommend, and I carry one with me all the time, is I have these little air horns. They're about, they're about the size of those, I don't know, they're really tiny, they're really small. Anyway, when I take Marley and Willie for a walk, or when I take any of my dogs for a walk over the years, I always had a small air horn with me. And that was for when I lived in Arizona, as you guys know, lots of coyotes and other animals. And when I saw one of the animals approaching me, another dog off a leash, I just tapped the air horn once. That was enough to get the dog to kind of go home to where it had to. So These little air horns are amazing. We had them made specifically for that reason. You can check them out. They are available. I think they're really inexpensive, like $8 or $9. Check them out. They're available on my website, thepetshow.com, thepetshow.com. And listen, I have Denise carry, even when she's not with the dogs, if she's going to the shopping center, if she's going to the supermarket, wherever, I always have her carry an air horn with her, because not only will it keep aggressive dogs away, but aggressive people away as well. All right, let me get back to the busy phone lines right now. We are going to, oh, got some great calls coming in. I don't know where I want to go. Oh, you know what? Let's go to Sandy. Hey, Sandy, welcome to the Pet Show. Sandy. Something wrong with my phones, Alex? Sandy. All right, so Sandy, we're going to go to instead, we're going to go to Derek. Hey, Derek, welcome to the show.
Hi there. How you doing?
I am doing fine.
I got a 7-month-old Australian Shepherd who he's a little nibbly, a little nippy, a little high-strung. I know the breed is a little rough, but I wanted some advice on what we could do to kind of get her more to be a family dog if possible.
Okay, first of all, it's a breed I'm very familiar with. The first Australian Shepherd that had an obedience title in the United States was given out by me. I judged the dog, okay? So I'm very familiar with Australian Shepherds, having trained literally hundreds and hundreds of them. They're very bright dogs. However, they need a job. They can become bored very easily. So forget basic training. Start out with your basic training, but then when you're done with basic training, you're going to need to teach this dog how to drive, I'm just joking with you. But you need to give this dog a tremendous amount of opportunities to continuously learn new things. A lot of exercise. Make sure the training is always positive, and make sure you do a tremendous amount of socializing. The more socializing you do, the quicker the dog's going to come around. Now, he's 7 months old now, which means he's coming out of what we call the terrible twos, which would be for children. So at this age, what he's going to do is going to say, you say sit, he says, I don't have to sit. Why do I have to sit? Why do I have to do this? So what you need to do is you need to make it fun. You need to make it short periods of time, 10, 15 minutes at a time. You need to always end on a positive note. And you need to make sure that whenever the dog seems like he's a little uncomfortable, that's the point where you may want to put the leash and collar on him and just reinforce him by doing some basic training, because that's something he already knows, and he's going to hear good boy, good boy, good boy. Very easy to do. The problem is a lot of people, for whatever reason, that are attracted to certain breeds of dogs, almost enjoy the fact that they're like bonded with them so closely and not socialized a lot. So I would recommend socialize. Remember, this was a herding dog. So I want you to socialize the dog an awful lot, but I also want you to consider finding out some advanced training classes in your area and get involved with them, because the more training you give, not that I care whether he jumps through this or does that, but it really keeps that mind occupied. And just like with bright kids, if the mind is working and the mind is occupied, you're okay. If it's not working and it's not occupied, they'll find a way to get into trouble. I hope that helps you out there, Derek.
Great, thank you.
Don't go anywhere. I'm putting you on hold, and you are getting a copy of how to get your dog to do what you want. Hey, a quick break, then back to your phone calls. Great time to call me. I still got plenty of time to answer your calls. I still got hugs and kisses to give away. I haven't given away much Cat's Incredible today, or hemp seed oil, or the book. So great time to give me a call. If I take your call, a great gift will be on its way to you. The phone number here, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. Someone had written me a note, and I was taking a couple of questions over here as well on Facebook. And they were afraid. The question was basically about cutting their dog's nails and how do they know where the quick is. Well, if you don't know where the quick is, what you basically need to do is just tip the nail and wait a couple of days, because the quick's a vein. It will go back a little by little. However, I got to tell you, I've been using this for just a while now, and I'm having a great experience. I'm going to hold it up so my Facebook people can see it. It's made by a company you're all familiar with. They make stuff for humans. It's called Conair, but it is not a nail clipper. It's actually a professional nail grinder. It's relatively quiet. You don't have to worry about the quick. And if you get the dog used to the noise like I did, and it's pretty quiet to begin with, what a great alternative. People are so afraid of clipping the dog's nails, and they let them grow, cause arthritis, cracking, all kinds of problems. So if you're afraid of clipping your dog's nails, maybe something you might want to try. They're not a sponsor. I'm just saying I used it and I loved it. Try the Conair professional nail grinder. This is what it looks like if you're watching on Facebook. Give it a shot. Let me know. And send me an email. Let me know what you think of it. 866-870 the phone number, 866-870-5752. You know what? Let me do this. Let me take a quick break, then right back to your phone calls. And we are back on the Pet Show. We'll get right back to the phone. Just before that, something new I've been doing. You know, I wrote my autobiography, Memoirs of a Pet Therapist, a while ago, but I never did a voiceover. I never voiced the book, and I'm doing that now. So every week I'm reading different chapters, and they're up on my YouTube page. I also post them on Facebook. But if you're not subscribing to YouTube, it doesn't cost you anything. There's also great videos there on every type of behavior. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, Eckstein. For example, I just posted the early years of my career when I was a peace officer, and I went into the refreshing Baptist church on Roosevelt, Long Island. And I looked in the back of the church before I went in, and in the back of the church, in a dumpster, were the heads of sheep, lambs, chickens, goats, and I knew something was going on in there. And I went inside as a peace officer because they were using these animals as a sacrifice, which was, I thought, against the law. I went in there. I was immediately surrounded by 3 men who you don't want to be surrounded by, threatened physically. That was the first time as a peace officer I legitimately had to pull a gun out of its holster to get out of there. Bottom line is, and it's all in the autobiography, I called the Nassau County Police for backup. They came to back me up. But here was the situation. They couldn't do anything because, according to them, what they were doing, sacrificing the animals, may have been illegal, but the fact that they were in a church, it was part of a religious ceremony, and therefore they couldn't act. It broke my heart, but I got the other animals away. Just part of the autobiography. There's my mobster clients, my celebrity clients in there as well. So check it out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, and every week I'll be posting a different chapter of that book. I think you'll find it real interesting and fascinating, of the journey I've taken to get to where I am today. All right, let me get back to the phone lines here. We're going to go to Patricia, and then we're going to go to Priscilla, then Christy, but right now it's Patricia in Sun City. Hey, Patricia, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you. I called you 2 weeks ago regarding my cat. And well, he was getting tired. He was 18, and he had kidney failure. And I made the decision to have him put down a week ago Friday.
It must be a tough time for you, Patricia. It's always hard to say goodbye, but if you know the cat was in pain and suffering, then obviously you made the right decision.
I did. If you saw his face the morning of his passing.
Yeah. And you had this cat Patricia, what was the cat's name?
Baxter.
And you had Baxter for how many years?
18 and a half.
God, that's longer than most marriages last. So the relationship that you had with Baxter must have been incredible. You know, it never gets easy when you have to say goodbye. And God, I've had to say goodbye to so many pets. It never gets easy. But the one thing that I really find that helps me get through it is not just focusing on the time I had to say goodbye to my best friend, but focusing on some of the stupid, fun, crazy things that we've done all along the years we lived together. So it's important to cry. It's important to let that out. I hope you have friends and people you can talk to about it. But at the same time, it's okay to take some time to think about when you first got him, the good times, the crazy things he did, waking you up at night, peeing outside, whatever he did. But it's so difficult. Do you have people you can talk to, Patricia?
My neighbor, she comes over every day.
Oh, good. That's real important. Are you online? Are you on a website by any chance? You have a computer?
I was on Facebook with you, but when I called, I was off.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. Next time you're on your computer, go to my website. It's thepetshow.com, all one long word, thepetshow.com. When you go there, what I want you to do is I want you to click on the miscellaneous, and you'll see the Ever After section. These are literally tons and tons of poems, articles, and stories written by my listeners over the last 35 years when they had to say goodbye to their best friends. Some of them will make you cry, some of them will make you laugh, but I think it would be really beneficial for you to do that, Patricia. And I'm so sorry about your loss of Baxter, but I'm sure Baxter had an incredible 18 years living with you, probably the best life ever.
My best friend.
And I'm sure he's looking down at you now with a big smile on his face and a big thank you and say, you know, someday again, Patricia, we will meet. We will meet.
Just before he died, I told him to get ready to run because the dog and the other cat would be waiting for him.
Not only that, I listen, Patricia, listen, as long as you have someone to talk, that's great. But not only do you have to worry about that, Patricia, but I can guarantee you one thing. I can guarantee you when Baxter arrives in doggy heaven, which he's obviously going to, right now, don't remember what he looked like when he passed away, because after a few weeks in heaven with my mother feeding him, he's going to be a little bit chubby. No question about it. I really appreciate that call. It's so hard. It's so hard. And people say, I can never get another pet. It was so difficult to say that goodbye. I'll take one good day, one loving day, one fabulous day, and I'll deal with the hard days when they come. It's just, you know, I've adopted dogs 17, 18 years old. I had them for a week, and I had to say, goodbye to them. But I knew when they crossed the bridge, they knew they were loved. And that is, in fact, the most important thing that you can do for any pet, is to let them know how much they're loved. And that's why I love you guys. I'm going to get to you, Chris. We got plenty of time, Priscilla. It's so important that people understand that dogs and cats, and I remember Regis Philbin having an argument with me on the air. And I said, Regis, dogs and cats feel love. He said, come on, Warren, you know, we had to get for that. They feel love. They feel love. They feel emotions. I don't know, you don't have to tell a dog you love them. They feel it. I believe that dogs and cats, I know I'm getting off here, dogs and cats have a sixth sense. They really do. We have a sixth sense. I believe it's inhibited in most people, but dogs and cats really do have that. Hey, by the way, I know we never have, I'm going to get to your question, but I know we never have enough time. I'm thinking about, in the next couple of weeks, doing a Zoom chat. However that works, I'll figure it out. And getting as many of my listeners on so we can talk specifically about when we start going back to work, and we can really focus on the changes when the kids go back to school and you go back to work. So if you want to get involved with that, send me an email at mail@thepetshow.com, or send me a note on Facebook, and we'll see if we can put that together. Again, the number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me do this. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, Priscilla, you'll be up next in Sherman Oaks, and then Christy, you'll be up next right after that in Woodland Hills. By the way, I still got time to take a few more calls, so 866-870-KRLA is the phone number, 866-870-5752. And we are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Just a reminder, as you know by now, when I get off the air here at 1 o'clock, I do my national and Canadian show. Same type of show. I give away the same gifts. So if you're driving around or you're sitting in your house, you're doing whatever you're doing, and you have questions about your pets, write down this number. You can start calling it at 1 o'clock. As I said, I give away the exact same gifts. The phone number for the national and Canadian show starting at 1 is 877 725-8255. 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. Let's go to Priscilla, Sherman Oaks. Welcome to the Pet Show, Priscilla. How are you?
You've got our pillow in your office, the one we made with your name.
You know what? I'm looking for it right now. It's around here. Wait. It's around here somewhere. Wait, don't go anywhere. See? Yeah. I don't forget anything. For those people on Facebook, this is the pillow.
Yeah.
This is the pillow.
I love making them, and I do them now because I requested. Anyway, your question. Yes, Missy and I, we do telecommunicate emotionally. I know what she's thinking. I know what she's thinking more than she knows what I'm thinking. And I really know all of her needs without her even having to let me know.
So you believe, like I do, that there's a sixth sense that takes place there, so that when she's thinking something, you automatically can figure out what she's thinking, and vice versa?
Yes, and I can satisfy her needs.
You know, it's amazing that you say that because people would probably say you're absolutely insane. But I think most people, most pet guardians out there, I really do believe that most pet guardians out there believe like we do, that there is an ability, an innate ability to communicate with our pets that's nonverbal or non-physical just by thinking
I believe
things.
in that 100%, and I love your question. Another thing is, I've gone to friends' houses, and I'm petting their dog, and then I go, Phil, you have a lump here right under his thigh. That's happened to me more than once.
You know, that's a great point, Priscilla. What I recommend is if you have a dog or a cat and they're getting older, if you massage them on a regular basis, and that's what I do, you can feel any little lumps or bumps. And if you feel them when they're small, chances are a lot of things can be done with them to resolve the problem. So it's a great idea to massage them and feel for bumps. Anyway, listen, Priscilla,
It's called How to Massage Your Dog, and I love it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you did. So I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send Priscilla. Let's send Priscilla. She loves animals so much. Let's send her a T-shirt, okay? We're going to send you a T-shirt that says, "None of my friends woke up right." That's the T-shirt right behind me. They just came out. I just got them yesterday. They just came out in the white. We have them in red and black. Check them. They're available on my website, thepetshow.com, and the money goes to help the Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund. Let's go to, I think it's Christy in Woodland Hills. Hey, Christy. Hey, Christy, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Warren.
Well, you can call me anything you want. What can I do for you?
Okay. My question is, I live in an apartment with, I have to renew my contract. And then the office said to me that because of the viruses going around, I have 2 dogs, and they want us to have a test for the dog for $45 each for coronavirus. Is it all of us, all the dogs are required to have that?
I have never heard, this is the first time I'm hearing about a landlord demanding, requiring that dogs be tested for COVID-19. First of all, there are so few animals, I think you can probably count them on a hand, that have developed the corona, and very minor, wasn't the same. So I don't know what to say. This is actually the first. Is anyone else there? No. Is there anybody else out there that lives in an apartment or a condo?
Yeah,
that's being asked specifically?
Yeah, this is my first time. That's why when you are on the radio, and I said I would like ask to Warren about this.
It's very rare that any of my listeners hear me say, I don't know. I've never heard the test being offered. I deal with veterinarians every day. I get the latest news from all around the world every day. Who's doing the testing? Is it a veterinarian that's going to do the testing?
Yeah, they want us to come in the veterinarian to do testing. But before we go there, I would like to ask you if it's required to all the dogs, or because it's only for us to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Listen. This is the first. You got Warren stuttering. This is the first. This is the first I've heard of it. I have no idea. I'll do some research on it. But quite honestly, if there's any, we have a lot of vets listening, a lot of trainers listening, a lot of groomers listening, a lot of people living in apartments. Has anyone else out there been asked or required to give their dog a COVID-19 test? I'm shocked. I don't know, Christy. So I'm going to have to do some research. Maybe I'll get back to you next week on it. In the meantime, will you keep me you have my email, right? You can mail me at mail@thepetshow.com. Can you send me a copy of that letter?
Okay. I will.
I want you to send it to mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com. I want to know why they're charging $45 for a test, why they're requiring a test, and why is it I've never heard of this before? Because quite honestly, if pets were required to be tested for COVID, probably the first person to hear about it would be yours truly. But anyway, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. You're such a lovely lady. And I am going to send you for your 2 dogs. You know what? I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food for your dogs. You're such a lovely lady. Anyone else ever hear that? I mean, am I crazy? I've never heard that before. Let me take a quick break, then right back to your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. Old blue comes when I blow my horn. I'm trying to think of what I want to do here. Betty has a question about her cat's different behaviors. Cynthia has a question about Addison's disease and shaking, and Arlene, here, you know what, Betty, I'm not going to take your call, Betty. Here's what I want you to do. Write this number down. I want you to call me in exactly 5 minutes at this phone number, 877-725-8255. 877-725-8255. That's the National Canadian Show. Starts at 1 o'clock. Betty, this way I won't rush you. I'll spend plenty of time answering your questions, and I give away the same gifts as well. Now, in terms of Arlene from Gardena, she's saying, Warren, where can I get a feral cat neutered? If you go to my website, thepetshow.com, there's actually a list of many rescues and humane organizations that will do that. Will do free or low-cost spay and neuter, so you want to check that out. Also, I don't know if they're still available. Someone let me know if the Pet Press is still available. But if you go to most pet stores, if you can pick up a copy of the Pet Press, there's also a listing in there of low-cost and free spaying and neutering. And there's some great organizations out there that can help you. There's Stray Cat. There's a lot of... My friend Missy just got involved with a new low-cost spay and I don't have the name of it off the top of my head. So Missy, if you're listening, let me know that. There's so many out there. So check it out. And I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. But go to my website. You'll see a list of California humane and rescue organizations that could probably help you out in terms of getting the feral cat neutered. And bless you for doing that. In terms of Cynthia was calling about Addison's disease. That's more of a veterinary question. You might want to check with your vet, Cynthia. Write this number down, though. You can all start calling it exactly at 1 o'clock. Be patient. That show is my national Canadian show. It's for Radio America. Armed Forces Radio goes all over the U.S. and Canada, but I do give away the same gifts. But start calling at 1 o'clock. The phone number, 877-725-8255. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I got to tell you, you should check out the memoirs book. A lot of real fun information there. You know, you listen to me every week. You've been on the air with me for like 35, 36 years. Now you can find out how it all started and may end. Check out the autobiography. It's absolutely free to read. Just go to youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, and subscribe. And by the way, when you're at my YouTube channel, I'm not joking. There are literally hundreds of videos I put together on certain behavior issues, on certain products. So check it out. It doesn't cost you anything. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. Again, the number for the network show, 877-725-8255. The T-shirts, let me hawk them again, and I'll tell you why. The T-shirts that I'm talking about are the ones that I designed that say, none of my friends walk upright. Now available in red, available in black, and for the summer white. And the money from those go directly to my 501c3 nonprofit organization, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. Until next week, give all of your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, a special one right between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you've been listening to The Pet Show. Hi, Warren Eckstein here. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. Don't forget to tune into The Pet Show on Saturday and visit thepetshow.com for all the latest pet and animal news.